Hello everyone, Donny Winter here, or across different kaiju websites on the internet, Eternal Mothra if you know me by that. I, as you all know, am very excited about the newest Godzilla movie being created by Legendary Pictures that's coming out in late May of 2014. And they the teaser trailer was just leaked and everybody had a whole big, excited hullabaloo over it. Well, I've been encountering some people saying that the whole nuclear metaphor of Godzilla is too much. I just dismissed it as being, a few people who were very unimaginative until I read a Facebook status by a friend, Matt Frank, who happens to be a comic book artist and a very well-renowned comic book artist in the kaiju fandom, commenting about how he has also noticed people coming out of the woodwork, commenting on how, the Oppenheimer quote was too heavy for Godzilla, and, the whole nuclear horror metaphor is, just too much. And then I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm not the only one encountering this ridiculous amount of unimagination. If you are one of those people who don't get the whole nuclear horror perspective regarding Godzilla, well, this is the video for you, and I encourage you to watch. That way you may better understand not only the reason why it's considered a nuclear horror, but you'll kind of gain a little bit of historical perspective as well. First, I will start with the quote that is recited in the trailer that's by Oppenheimer, who, if you did not know, is called the father of the atomic bomb, created it. Here's the quote, and I quote, "We knew the world would not be the same. Few people laughed, few people cried, most people were silent. I remembered the line from the Hindu scripture. Vishnu takes on his multi-armed form and says, 'Now I am death, the destroyer of worlds,'" end quote. Obviously, I could not say it with the dramatic effect that it was said in the trailer, but you get the basic point. During the later stages of World War II, I believe it was around August 6th and August 9th of 1945, the United States dropped 2 atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The 2 cities were completely obliterated, many people were killed, men, women, children killed, many other people, hundreds of thousands of people, probably millions, ended up getting radiation poisoning, and they ended up suffering and dying for the rest of their lives, and it was genetically passed on, and basically it had become a horrifying aspect of Japanese history. And that led to the creation of the character Gojira, which is the Japanese name, created in 1954. 10 years after World War II, people were slowly beginning to realize that people who are contaminated, who have children, ended up having mutated children sometimes, which they discovered was a symptom of being contaminated with nuclear radiation. And this caused a lot of fear, which many wondered if the environment also is contaminated by nuclear radiation, what kind of mutation could evolve out of said environment. And in my eyes, historically, that's why the Godzilla character was created, out of everybody's fear of the uncertainty of nuclear energy and nuclear radiation and how it affected the environment and the general unpredictability of how nature tends to work. If you go back and watch the original Gojira movie, which was the one created back in 1954, keep in mind you have to watch the Japanese version, not the English version. The English version leaves a lot of stuff out. You'll realize that Godzilla is being depicted as a force of nature, much like that of a hurricane or a volcano. People have no control over it, people are terrified of it, and what makes the Godzilla story so horrifying is the fact that humans created this, natural disaster waiting to happen. With all the nuclear testing done and nuclear bombs dropped, the environment transformed essentially and mutated, and that is how Godzilla was created. For those of you who think that this metaphorical comparison is too deep, I think you need to go back and gain some historical perspective regarding why the Japanese culture fears what happened to them. I mean, it was a traumatic event, and they're going to manifest these fears in creations like Godzilla and Rodan and Mothra, even though Mothra really isn't a product of nuclear. I mean, you know what I mean if you're a fan, whatever. Anyway, if you're a fan of Godzilla, feel free to share my video. If you have anything else to add, feel free to put a comment in the section below. I will read them, and I will post them every now and then. I really feel like people nowadays just expect movies like this to be action-packed, gory films with nothing but special effects, when frankly they should be examining the underlying reason why the movie was created. Why is the character, you know, this force of nature? Why is it being depicted as a metaphor? People need to look deeper into things, and I just think it's a symptom of today's society. People are too lazy to do so. So if you would like, share my video, because I would like other people to realize that Godzilla is more than just this gigantic lumbering dinosaur in a rubber suit destroying Tokyo. It is a deeper concept that needs to have a second look.